Welcome everyone to this episode of Lightroom. So we're going to be talking about radial masking. It's that big round thing that you can use in the top corner of your image to create a little bit of fake light, a little bit of warmth, whatever you may think of, you can use it for. So let's jump in. I've got a hornball that we're going to edit today. So let's have a look and see what we can do. So first things first, we're going to set up a basic adjustment. So we're going to be touching on the light, dark, put a shadow, check the exposure, everything's right. And then we'll jump into using that mask and see what it actually can do. See what the possibilities of it are, which is incredible. You can use it for dark, you can use it for light, you can create that fake light. You can do so much with it. So play with it and see what we can do. Okay, so over here I've got the hornball. It's beautiful. Colors are amazing. I love these branches in the background. Those are really nice. And then you can see this. If you look really carefully, there's almost like a white light that's coming around this section over here. So if you can imagine the rest of the image, it's like a lighter shade of everything else in the image actually. So you can see these white bokeh balls in the background here, the nice green turning to a little bit of yellow orange. And then we're just going to accentuate that with the radial mask. So let me just do a quick basic adjustment here. I'm just going to increase the exposure, bring down the highlights a little bit, bring up the shadows some more, bring up the whites, and then I'm just going to bring down those blacks a little bit. Okay, and then clarity and texture. It's more of a preference thing. So clarity and texture, they work hand in hand. So clarity, you can decrease it, give it that soft look of the image, and then you want to increase the texture of it, just to bring back the texture and the fine details of the image to make it not too soft and look completely weird. So we can decrease the clarity and increase the texture slightly. So for this image, I'm going to decrease it by about 16 to 18 or so. That looks great. Bring up the texture by 6. That looks perfect. I'm not going to do anything with the tone curve right now because I think there's enough contrast in the image. So what we can do, we can have a look at it while we're here. So you can see if you lighten up the highlights and the whites over here and darken the shadows and the darks down here, it does give quite a bit of contrast between the background and the foreground over here in the image. So what we can do is we can bring up this just a bit and bring down those whites. So it actually does work. I mean, we can look at the before and after. Pretty nice. So I'm not going to go into anything down here. None of the color grading, none of the HLS and color. I am going to go straight into using the masking and actually show you how powerful just using one mask can be. So what we're going to do is we're going to put Shift M on the keyboard and we're going to go from the top corner over here, and you can see it's bright and red. We're going to move it around to where we think. Press O on the keyboard to get rid of the color. So remember we talked about this white invisible line over here, this fake haze that's going on in the corner of the image here. It's not fake, it's actually real, but we're going to create that fake haze. We're going to enhance what's already here from the image. So let's actually do this. So if you go back down here and you bring down the exposure of the image, you can see this area here is lighter, over here is lighter than this dark side of the image over here. So we're just going to undo that, and then we're going to go back to this radial mask, press O again to get the color back to show where the mask is going. And I'm actually going to leave it on the subject. So what you can do is you can subtract it from the subject, and you'll see over here it takes it away. But I want to keep it on the subject and on the background. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to go back up to the mask. This is the mask section here. So you got basic adjustments, you got color, you got temperature, tint, hue, saturation, and then you got a tone curve, which is new to the new Lightroom, and then you got clarity, texture, dehaze, and detail. So what we're going to do is I'm going to unselect that mask, the color of the mask, and then I'm actually just going to go to the temperature and bring that up slightly to see what it's doing. Bring it up slightly, and then we're going to increase the exposure. just like that. We're going to decrease the clarity to make those bokeh balls and everything a little bit more softer. That's looking good. And then another little trick that I like to do very few times is actually go into color, where you can add color to an image. So let's go crazy. We can show you exactly what we can do. Purple, we can do blue, we can do green, we can do yellow, and we can do bright red. So you can go all the way up. This is saturation of each of the colors, and it's just a bit crazy. But I want to go in the middle here. So where I'm going to a bit more to the red, more to the fake sun side. And we're just going to increase the saturation a little bit. Just going to increase, and see what that looks like. So let's do a little before and after of what this radial mask has done for this image. So we go, this is after, and that's before. After and before. So you can see the after has done such a big effect on the image that it's created this almost fake light that's coming through the background, which are trees in the background. So it's creating this fake background light that's coming through, and it just giving that little bit of glow onto the side of the bird's face. So it looks like sun, it looks like the afternoon, it looks like this beautiful warm light that's just shining upon this beautiful bird. And the lovely thing about the background is it's already green. So green and yellow and orange all work so well together in creating a false background. So you can see, let's go before and after. Before and after. So you can see with nothing else, basic adjustments like clarity, texture, highlights, shadows, whites, blacks, and a little bit of exposure, and a radial mask. See what that can do to an image. Nothing else. We haven't touched, and the tone curve. We haven't touched hue, saturation, and luminance, and we also haven't done any color grading to the image, and no vignetting. So you can see how powerful a radial mask is. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.